The cellular panic. You call it a gold watch. Your cells call it an expiration date. The second you stop having a reason to be anywhere, your body doesn't celebrate. It panics. A team at the UK Biobank didn't ask retirees how they felt. They looked at their DNA. They found that freedom has a price tag, up to 2.5 years of instant biological aging. This isn't a metaphor, it's a molecular measurement. Today, we aren't just looking at the damage. We are deploying a specific Stoic protocol to reverse the signal of decay and reclaim the years your DNA is trying to throw away. The mission starts now. The bill nobody showed you. 0.87 years. That's the floor. The least your cells age on the actual day you stop having a reason to show up. Not after years of sitting around, not after a decade on the couch. The day your calendar goes blank. Researchers used epigenetic clocks, not "how are you feeling" questionnaires. Molecular measurements of how fast your DNA itself is breaking down. And what they found wasn't a theory. Retirement didn't just feel like aging, it was aging, stamped right into the DNA of the people they studied. Up to 2.5 years of biological age, added by the simple act of stopping. Your retirement party has a biological cost, and nobody handed you the bill. What your body was listening for. The researcher behind this is Dr. Shiro Furuya, postdoctoral fellow at Harvard University. His findings were published in Demography, one of the most respected population science journals in the world. What makes this different from the usual "stay active, play golf" advice is what he actually measured. Not mood, not "I feel pretty good for my age," not a survey. Epigenetic clocks. Think of them like a biological odometer inside your cells, tracking how fast you're actually wearing down at the molecular level. And the reading was clear. Retirement hit the gas. Your body didn't read retirement as a reward. It read it as the last message getting cut off. Think about that. Your whole career, every single morning, your biology received one quiet signal. He has somewhere to be. Something needs him. Keep running. The day that signal stops, your cells don't celebrate. They start winding down. You clean out the desk, drive home in the middle of a Tuesday. The house is quiet in a way you've never heard before. Your wife asks how it feels. You say great. And somewhere underneath all of that, a clock just shifted gears. This is actually the good news. Some things are up to us, some things aren't. Most men hear that and think about money, the market, what the boss decided, what the economy is doing. But how fast your cells age in response to having a reason, that one's yours. It's not your DNA handing you a sentence. It's a signal, and signals can be redirected. Here's the real diagnosis, and it's not "retirement kills you." It's simpler than that. Your body is always listening for one thing. Do you still have work to do? Not a job title, not a corner office. The thing your biology recognizes as, "He's still got somewhere to be." Ergon, your proper function, the work that's actually yours. That's what the cells are listening for. Now here's where it flips. Forget the cost for a second, because a second study looked at the exact opposite question. Not what happens when that signal disappears, what happens when it doesn't. And the answer changes everything. 1,572 adults, average age 70. Dr. Toshiko Tanaka and her colleagues at the National Institute on Aging measured participants' sense of purpose, how much they felt they had something worth getting up for. Then they measured their DNA. Published in the Journal of Gerontology, 2023. The adults with the highest purpose scores showed younger biological age across 4 separate epigenetic clocks. Not one measurement, 4, all pointing the same direction. Purpose doesn't just make you feel younger, it keeps your cells younger. Your DNA has no idea what date you retired. It only knows one thing. Did you show up today with a reason? The entropy gap. Imagine 2 men, both 63. On paper, they are identical. The first man is a consumer. His day is a series of distractions designed to kill time before the sun goes down. He walks the dog. He reads the paper. He is active, but he is not functioning. The second man is a producer. At 6:15 a.m., he is in a cold garage because a local shop is waiting on a specific woodworking commission. He isn't doing it for the money. He's doing it because that work belongs to him. Researchers at the National Institute on Aging found that these two men aren't just living different lives. They are living in different biological realities. When they measured the DNA, the producers showed younger cellular markers across 4 separate epigenetic clocks. Purpose isn't a feeling, it's a biological instruction. The man in the garage is literally signaling to his cells that the mission is still active. The man on the couch is signaling that the mission is over. The Emperor's cellular defense. 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man in the world faced this exact biological crossroads. In Meditations, Book 5, we find Marcus Aurelius arguing with himself in the dark. He didn't want to get out of bed. He had every excuse to retire into the luxury of the palace. But his defense wasn't about willpower or duty to Rome. He told himself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." He understood Ergon, the idea that every living thing has a function. A vine produces grapes, a dog hunts, a human creates and contributes. Marcus wasn't just being a good guy. He was fulfilling his biological contract. He knew that if he stopped doing human work, he wasn't just resting, he was decaying. Today, we have the molecular data to prove he was right. The emperor wasn't just saving his empire, he was saving his DNA. The number that should change everything. So the cells age when the reason disappears. They slow down when the reason stays. One question left. If the damage has already started, how fast can you turn it around? The answer has a number, and it's a lot smaller than you'd expect. 8 weeks. That's how long it took to reverse 2 years of biological aging. Not slow it down, reverse it. A 2025 systematic review published in the journal Aging, led by Dr. Ryosuke Shindo and colleagues at Tohoku University, pulled together human and animal studies on exercise and epigenetic aging clocks. One trial stood out. Sedentary adults, not athletes, who began a combined strength and cardio program. 8 weeks later, their biological age had dropped 2 years. But here's what most people skip right over. General activity didn't produce the same result. Walking the dog didn't do it. Gardening, light movement, staying on your feet, same result as doing nothing. What moved the needle was training. Planned, progressive, intentional. Your DNA can tell the difference between moving around and actually working. What structured actually means. So what does that actually look like in practice? It doesn't mean a personal trainer. Doesn't mean a gym membership you'll abandon in January. Doesn't mean 2 hours a day. It means you have a plan and you follow it. It means this week is harder than last week. It means you show up even when you don't feel like it. 3 or 4 sessions a week. Cardio and resistance, not one or the other, both. The Tohoku review found that cardiorespiratory fitness, how hard your heart and lungs can actually work when you push them, was the single strongest predictor of slower biological aging in older men. Not flexibility, not muscle mass alone, not step count. How hard you can go when you ask your body to go hard. That's trainable. At 60, at 65, at 70. The research is unambiguous on this. The real lie about retirement. The lie this whole episode is built around? I'll rest when I retire. Here's the truth. Rest without a reason isn't rest. It's the signal to start winding down. But, and this is the part almost nobody talks about, the other side of that is just as true. Having something to do and training like you mean it isn't a burden. It's the signal to keep building. 8 weeks of intentional effort for 2 years of biological life back. That's not a bumper sticker. That's a peer-reviewed finding, and it belongs to you. Your cells don't read calendars. Prosoche, not positive thinking, Not telling yourself it's going to be fine. Actually paying attention to what is happening inside you, right now. Your calendar might say, retired. Your cells don't read calendars. They read signals. This week, you decide what signal they get. What is the human work you refuse to give up? Define it, then do it. See you in the next one.